Hey, how you doing, folks? I've returned for my recap of the Indianapolis Supercross. It was another Triple Crown. And guys, just remember, subscribe. That's how my channel grows. I know I'm sitting a little bit further back because my back's kind of killing me right now. But still, anyway, remember, subscribe. I'm going to try and move a little closer. But still, you guys, subscribe. That's how my channel grows. I want to keep my monetization status, and the only way I can do that is with your help. If you hit the subscribe button. So, let's get into this. Put up my banner here. Jett Lawrence wins the 450s. I don't think Ken Roczen fought hard enough, and Cameron McAdoo wins the 250s. Now, I am going to start with the 450s because I want to get these 2 points out of the way. Jett Lawrence wins. He went 1-1-1. And quite frankly, that's good on Jett Lawrence because he becomes the second rider to sweep all 3 races in the Triple Crown as Jason Wygant and Ricky Carmichael were talking about. And I got to be honest, this could be Jett Lawrence's title to lose. And, you know, I know that Cooksey in his video referenced Carmichael and McGrath in 2001. Well, I'm actually going to go a little bit deeper into the future. And I'm going to try and reference what happened in 2010 with Ryan Dungey and Ryan Villopoto. Except this time, I don't know if Jett Lawrence has a legitimate title contender because Eli Tomac has been falling off the radar. Cooper Webb has been kind of having little dumb things happen to him. Chase Sexton, I don't think, is up to par from his hand injury. Jason Anderson has not really been there. And, other guys have not really answered the bell to really challenge Jett Lawrence. And, but quite frankly, I'm referencing 2010 because the only other guy in 2010 that had the will to go up against Ryan Villopoto, against Ryan Dungey I gave it away already, was Ryan Villopoto. And so what this is telling me is that when you look at how Villopoto was riding in 2010, he was riding like he was a man possessed, and he wanted to beat Ryan Dungey, and you can't blame him. And quite frankly, I was thinking that Villopoto was going to reach out and snag the title from Dungey because of experience alone. Villopoto had a year under him in the 450 class, even though he missed a few races in 2009 because of some sicknesses, while Ryan Dungey was basically a 450 rookie. And while Dungey has certainly rose from the ashes and proved that he was ready for the 450 class, I kind of wanted to put an asterisk right by the 2010 title because all the guys who challenged him were on the sidelines. James Stewart was out with injury. Chad Reed was out with injury and not riding up to what he feels like he should be riding up to, even though he came back later in the season. Andrew Short was out. Ivan Tedesco was out. Josh Grant was out with injuries. Those guys, all those guys I mentioned, were certainly capable of giving Dungey some fits and maybe feeling like he needed an instruction manual for the 450 class, and he never really realized it until 2011 when all the other guys were back. But let's face it, 2010, James Stewart won the first round, and then he killed his own season when he did that really dangerous maneuver in the air and took off Kyle Partridge. Okay? And that pretty much killed James Stewart's season. Because after a third at Anaheim 2, Stewart dropped out because of a wrist injury. Said adios. Then Chad Reed came back, and he wasn't really riding up to par. And as it turned out later in the motocross season, Reed had a case of Epstein-Barr, and Dungey rode to both titles. And then after Villopoto crashed at St. Louis, Ryan Dungey locked up the title after Josh Hill had another bad race at St. Louis. And then, of course, in motocross, Dungey went on a 9-race win streak, and it seemed like he evaded every kind of bad luck of imaginable until Steel City. You see what I'm getting at here? And then 1 year later in 2011, he's still with Suzuki. Roger DeCoster departs for KTM. And a lot of people were wondering what was up with Dungey. And as a result, Dungey only won one race in 2011, which led me to feel that Dungey got above and beyond spoiled in 2010. And I don't know if some of you guys agree, but that's just my take. Now, Jett Lawrence wins. Good on him. And Jett Lawrence is kind of reminding me of Dungey from 2010. But unlike 2010, Dungey had Villapoto to deal with. Jett Lawrence has got a lot of other guys to deal with, and they're just not riding up to what they feel like they're capable of. Guys like Tomac, Roczen, Barsha, Webb, everybody out there, and Sexton as well. They're all having all kinds of weird things happen to them that's kind of holding them back. And Ken Roczen is one of those guys because Roczen won 1 year ago at Indianapolis, and I thought that was going to launch his season. And I still remember last year when he went on the podium and held the Kickstarter in his hand. And I thought that was cool, really, because it proves that, it proves that a centuries-old apparatus to start up a motorcycle is still in today's society. And Roczen, he led all three races, but Jett Lawrence was putting so much heat on him, and I don't think Roczen really fought hard enough to keep the lead. Now, Ken, I can understand it's a little older, but still, you want to give your kids something to cheer for, especially in this year alone. And if I were Roczen right now and I lost all three of those races, I'd be looking at, what do I got to do to beat this kid? Or what do I got to do to beat this little punk? Because really, Roczen is no stranger to the victory podium. He can hold off any guy on any given night. And that's why I don't think that Ken Roczen fought hard enough. I don't know if you guys think so, but that's just my take. Okay. And the guy that I thought was going to be fighting for an overall win, Eli Tomac, I don't know what's up with that guy because something tells me that Eli Tomac is just riding out the season as is. And it seems like the only way he's going to get a win is if everybody has some bad luck. Because I think the beast mode that everybody was kind of hyping up about is gone. Not going to lie to you. I don't think Tomac is really proving it. Because he only had that one come from behind ride and at Dallas. And I thought that was only a flash in the pan. And so far, I'm right. Eli Tomac has kind of been rotting like, where are you, kid? That would probably make a lot of team managers say that. Like, hey, where the heck are you, kid? Where's your talent? I mean, I know that Tomac is getting older and everything, but still, when Chad Reed was in his 30s, and I know that Eli Tomac, I think, is closing in on his 30s, Reed was still fighting for wins. And, of course, that injury in 2012 at Dallas kind of zapped a lot of his speed. But he still came through and brought the crowd to life at Anaheim 2 in 2014. And he even brought me to tears, too, after he won that race. I don't know where you guys are going with this, but still, that's just my take. Okay, now for the 250s. Cameron McAdoo wins the 250s in the Triple Crown to stop a two-race win streak from Tom Vial, but Tom Vial won the last race. And I got to tell you, Tom is really proving that he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. And guys, don't overlook him in the outdoors because he's going to be a contender, especially with Hunter Lawrence leaving for a 450 career and beyond. But still, Look out for Tom Vial. I'm not going to doubt that he's going to win any motos or overalls. But still, for Tom Vial to prove that he's a title contender, even with whoops out there, I think he proved himself. And that third main event win has got to count for something. Okay? And Cameron McAdoo, as I said, as it says in my banner, he won the 250 class. And he also, and a lot of people might say that he benefited from Hayden Deegan crashing in the first turn of race number 3, which is true. And quite frankly, I thought it boiled down to who got the start. And even if Hayden Deegan kept it on 2 wheels, I think Cameron McAdoo would have won it no matter what. But a guy that I thought should really be up there fighting for wins is Seth Hamaker, mainly because he's the only guy under the Pro Circuit 10 on the East Coast that's yet to taste a win. And hopefully he can do that. So, obviously, I hope that, I don't know if Hamaker is fighting any bike setup troubles or it's all him. But still, Seth, I hope he can put something together. And it's been a couple of years and it's been kind of 3 calendar years since you last won a race. So I hope that you can put something together. And I'm glad to see that Deegan kind of owned up to knowing that he made the mistake on his own. He lost the Indianapolis race because of that crash in the first turn. But the guy that he claimed in the first race, or the last race rather, Max Anstie, I'm kind of thinking, can that guy ever buy a break? He kind of reminds me of Stefan Roncada because in the heat races, Roncada got terrible starts, and only once in a while did he goof up his start in the main event. Of course, I'm talking about the year 2000 when Roncada had it all going. He did everything right pretty much. And so far, I don't think Anstie is proving that he's a fast guy, at least in practice anyway. But if that guy can just nail a start, he can do a lot of damage. So anyway, guys, that's all for today. And remember, subscribe. That's how my channel grows. We'll see you for the next round in Seattle, and I'll see you all then. We go back to the West, and I'll see you all soon.